Hi, and welcome back to Talk English Now. I'm Sarah, and today, we're going to talk about how to stop translating in your head and think in English. Let me start by saying, this is a very common problem for English learners. You're not alone if you find yourself thinking of a sentence in your language first, and then trying to translate it into English. It happens to many learners, even after months or years of studying. And it's frustrating, right? You know the words, you know the grammar, but when it's time to speak, you stop. You think in your language first, and you get stuck trying to find the English words. Sometimes, the sentence sounds strange, or you forget what you wanted to say. So, how can you fix this? How can you stop translating and start thinking directly in English? That's exactly what we're going to practice together today. First, let's understand why this happens. When you start learning a new language, your brain uses your first language as a tool. It's like a bridge. You hear something in English, and your brain quickly tries to understand it by comparing it to your own language. This is natural. It's your brain trying to help you. But after a while, this habit becomes a block. It slows you down. If you want to speak English naturally, you need to teach your brain to skip the translation step and go straight to English thinking. Now, how do you do that? Let me explain it in a simple way. Imagine you're walking on a new road. The first time you walk, it feels hard. You look around, you stop, you feel unsure. But when you walk on that road every day, again and again, it becomes easy. You know the way. You don't have to think. Learning to think in English works the same way. It's about practicing small, simple things every single day until your brain gets used to the English road. Let me give you an example. Right now, look around you. What do I see? Maybe a chair, a phone, a table. I want you to name the things around you, but in English, don't make a sentence. Just say the words. Chair, phone, table. This is a simple way to start thinking in English. You don't need to translate. You just look and say the English word. This builds a direct connection in your brain between the object and the English word. Let's practice together. I'll say some words, and I want you to repeat after me. Ready? Pen, book, bag, door, window. Good. Now, you try saying things around you. This exercise may feel simple, but it's powerful. The more you do this, the more your brain will start naming things in English automatically, without translation. Now, let's take it a step further. I want you to make small sentences in English about the things you see. Don't worry about grammar being perfect. Just say simple things, like, this is a chair. I have a pen. That is a window. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. This is a chair. I have a phone. That is a door. Excellent. Remember, don't overthink it. Keep it simple. The goal is to build the habit of using English words and English sentences automatically. Now, you might wonder, Sarah, what about longer thoughts? How can I stop translating when I want to say something more difficult? Great question. And the answer is, you practice with small, daily thoughts. For example, when you wake up in the morning, say to yourself, I am awake now. It's morning. I feel good. When you're getting ready, say, I'm brushing my teeth. I'm getting dressed. I'm leaving the house. Talk to yourself in simple English sentences about what you are doing. Right now, I know it may feel strange at first, but this is a great way to practice thinking in English. You don't have to speak out loud if you don't want to. You can say it quietly in your mind, but if you do say it aloud, it will help even more. Let's practice together. Imagine you're in your room. You wake up. You open your eyes. You sit up. What can you say in English? Let me help you. I wake up. I open my eyes. I sit up. I stand up. I go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth. See how natural that feels? These are simple actions and simple sentences, but they help you build your English thinking. Let's do it again. Repeat after me. I wake up. I open my eyes. I sit up. I stand up. I go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth. Very good. Now, maybe you're thinking, but Sarah, I don't know enough English words to do this all the time. And that's okay. That's a normal part of learning. When you don't know a word, don't stop. Don't switch to your language. Try to explain it in simple English words you already know. For example, if you don't know how to say ceiling fan, you can say, the fan on the ceiling. Or, if you forget the word umbrella, you can say, the thing that I use when it rains. This way, you're still thinking in English, even if you don't have the exact word. This is what native speakers do too. We often explain things when we forget a word. Let me give you some practice. I'll give you a word, and I want you to try explaining it with simple English. For example, if I say bed, you can say, the place where I sleep. Let's try. How would you explain fridge? Think for a second, and try to say it. You could say, the place where I keep my food cold. Great job. This is a wonderful way to train your brain to stay in English mode. All right, I know this is a lot of practice, but you're doing great. Now, let's talk about a very important point. Thinking in English is not about being fast, it's about being natural. Many learners feel pressure to speak quickly, and they get nervous. But you don't have to be fast, you have to be clear. Even native speakers pause, think, and speak slowly sometimes. So when you practice thinking in English, give yourself time. Don't rush. Let your thoughts come naturally. For example, you can say, I want to eat some rice. It's okay to pause between words. With time, you'll get faster naturally. Let's practice this together. I'll say a sentence slowly, with natural pauses, and you repeat after me. I want to eat some rice. Now try. Very good. Let's do another one. I am going to the market. Your turn. Well done. You see, it's okay to pause. It's okay to think. What matters is, you're thinking in English. Let me remind you again, thinking in English is a habit. It's something you build slowly, with daily practice. Even if you do this for 5 minutes a day, it will help you. I want you to make this your habit. Every day, talk to yourself in simple English sentences. Look around, say what you see, think about what you're doing, and try to explain things in English. The more you do this, the less you'll feel the need to translate in your head. And when you make a mistake, don't worry. Mistakes are part of learning. In fact, making mistakes means you're trying. When you catch yourself translating, don't be hard on yourself. Just gently bring your mind back to English and try again. That's how you get better. All right, take a little breath. You've done really well with this first part. Let's keep going, because I have many more tips, examples, and practice activities for you. Now, let's talk about one powerful way to start thinking in English naturally. It's something you can do every single day. It's called describing your actions in real time. Whenever you're doing something, try to describe it in simple English words as you do it. For example, when you're making tea, say, I'm boiling water. I'm putting a tea bag in the cup. I'm pouring water into the cup. I'm waiting. I'm drinking tea. You don't need to make long or perfect sentences, just short, simple descriptions. This practice is very effective because it connects your real life with your English learning. Let's try this together. Imagine you are brushing your hair. I'll say a sentence, and you repeat after me. I pick up the brush. I brush my hair. I look in the mirror. I smile. Great. Now, you try to describe your own actions when you do something simple, like cooking, cleaning, or even walking. The goal is, you want your brain to start thinking of English words before your own language. The more you connect English with your real life, the easier it becomes to stop translating. Now, here's another great habit you can practice. Use simple English questions with yourself. Ask yourself easy questions in English and answer them. For example, you can ask, "What am I doing?" Then answer, "I am walking," or "Where am I going?" And answer, "I'm going to the shop," or "What do I need?" And answer, "I need some milk." Let's practice this together. I'll ask the question. Then, you answer after me. What am I doing? I am sitting. Where am I going? I'm going to work. What do I need? I need my phone. Perfect. This simple question and answer method helps you think in English, because you're giving your brain the habit of answering in English first. Now, let's talk about something very important. Many learners think they need perfect grammar before they can speak or think in English, but that's not true. Thinking in English is not about perfect grammar. It's about creating natural English thoughts. So, don't wait until you know everything. Start using the English you know, even if it's simple. For example, if you and to say, "I have to go to the office," but you're not sure about have to, you can say, "I go office." It's okay. You're practicing. The more you use English, even simple English, the more confident you'll become. And slowly, you'll start to fix your grammar naturally, because your brain will start to recognize patterns. So, don't let fear of mistakes stop you from thinking in English. Let's practice a few short thoughts together. You repeat after me. I go home. I eat lunch. I drink water. I feel happy. Great. These are simple sentences, but they help build strong habits. Now, let's practice turning these short thoughts into little stories. When you create a story in English, even a simple one, you stop translating because you're focused on the idea. Let me show you. Listen to this. I wake up. I wash my face. I make tea. I sit at the table. I drink my tea. I read the news. I get ready for work. Did you see how simple that is? It's just a story of my morning. Let's make one together now. Repeat after me. I wake up. I get out of bed. I brush my teeth. I make breakfast. I eat eggs. I drink coffee. I go to work. Wonderful. Now, I want you to try making your own little story. You can think of your morning, your lunch break, or your evening routine. Speak it out loud, or say it in your mind. But say it in English. Even if it's only 5 sentences. This practice will help you stop translating. Because when you speak about real life, in your real voice, you create real connections in your brain. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever tried shadowing? Shadowing means you listen to someone speak English, and you repeat after them, at the same time, or right after. Shadowing is one of the best ways to train your brain to think in English, because you don't have time to translate. You just listen and speak. Let's try a short shadowing practice. Now, I'll say a sentence and you repeat it, right after me. I'm learning English. I'm practicing every day. I'm getting better. I feel more confident. Excellent. When you shadow, you're not only practicing your speaking, you're training your brain to think in English sounds. That's very powerful. And here's a tip. When you shadow, don't worry if you miss a word. Just keep going. It's like exercising your brain. The more you do it, the stronger it gets. All right. I want to give you one more important mindset tip. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to use English. Some learners think, I'll speak English when I know more, or I'll practice when I have time. But the truth is, the perfect time is now. Every small moment is a chance to think in English. When you walk, think in English. When you wait for a bus, think in English. When you make your coffee, think in English. You don't need a special time. You don't need a teacher. You can practice anytime, anywhere. And every time you do, you're teaching your brain to use English naturally. Let me say it again. You don't need perfect words. You don't need perfect sentences. You just need practice. Every small step will take you closer to thinking naturally in English. And I'm here with you, every step of the way. All right, take a deep breath and give yourself a smile. You've done great in this practice. Let's keep going. I have more examples and exercises coming up. Now, let's talk about a simple but powerful habit that will really help you stop translating in your head. It's the habit of using English for your daily thoughts. You might be thinking, what does that mean? Well, it means that whenever you have a thought, even a simple one, you try to express it in English. For example, if you're feeling hungry, say to yourself, I'm hungry. If you feel tired, say, I'm tired. If you want a snack, say, I want a snack. This may seem too simple, but this is exactly how you train your mind to think in English first. The important part is, you don't wait for a study time. You use English in the small moments of your day. Let's try this together. I'll say a situation, and you say a simple sentence in English. Ready? You feel sleepy. What can you say? Yes, I'm sleepy. You want to watch TV. What can you say? Right. I want to watch TV. You feel cold. What can you say? Good. I feel cold. You're doing great. This habit may feel small, but every little practice adds up. And soon, your brain will stop needing to translate, because English will become part of your daily thinking. Now, let's talk about something many learners worry about. They say, Sarah, I'm afraid I'll make mistakes if I speak without translating. And I understand. But here's the truth. Making mistakes is part of learning. Even native speakers make mistakes when they speak. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to practice, to use English, and to improve step by step. So, if you make a mistake, smile, correct yourself if you can, and move on. Don't let fear of mistakes stop you from thinking in English. Let's practice this together. I'll say a sentence, and if you think it's not perfect, that's okay. You just repeat it after me, and say it with confidence. I go to shop. Now, we know that in perfect grammar, we say, I go to the shop. But if you forget the, it's okay. You're still communicating. The important part is, you're practicing your English thinking. So, let's try a few more. Repeat after me. I want water. I go school. I feel happy today. You're doing great. Now, here's a useful tip. If you make the same mistake again and again, write it down and practice the correct form a few times. For example, if you often say, I go school, you can practice saying, I go to school, a few times. This will help your brain remember, and every time you fix a small mistake, you're improving your English thinking. Now, let's practice talking about your day. I'll guide you with some simple sentences, and you can repeat after me. Ready? I wake up. I wash my face. I eat breakfast. I go to work. I meet my friends. I go home. I watch TV. I go to bed. Good. Now, I want you to try making your own simple story about your day. You can say it out loud, or in your mind, but try to use simple English sentences. It's okay if it's not perfect. The important thing is, you're thinking in English. Now, let me share another helpful tip. When you read something in English, try to picture it in your mind. For example, if you read, "I'm walking to the park," close your eyes and imagine yourself walking to the park. This helps your brain connect English words with real-life images instead of your first language. Let's try it together. I'll say a sentence, and you close your eyes and imagine it. Ready? I'm drinking a cup of tea. I'm sitting on a chair. I'm watching the sunset. Good. When you imagine the meaning, you don't need to translate. Your brain connects directly with the image and the English words. This is a very powerful way to stop translating. Now, let's practice a little shadowing again. I'll say a short sentence, and you repeat it right after me. I feel great today. I'm learning English. I can speak English. I don't need to translate. Wonderful. Let's do a few more. I use English every day. I'm getting better. I'm proud of myself. You're doing an amazing job. Now, I want you to remember this. Thinking in English is not about being perfect. It's about practicing every day. Even if you do it for just 5 minutes, it will make a difference. Small steps, every day, will help you stop translating and start thinking directly in English. And every time you practice with me, you're taking another step forward. So, be patient with yourself, enjoy the process, and keep going. All right, let's take a short breath together. You're doing so well, and I'm really proud of you. We still have more practice ahead, so let's keep moving forward. Now, let's talk about another great way to stop translating in your head. It's by using common phrases and expressions in your daily life. You see, some phrases in English are used so often that they almost become automatic when you hear them or say them. For example, phrases like, "How are you?" "Thank you." "See you later." "I don't know." When you learn these common expressions and use them often, you stop thinking about them. They become part of your natural speaking. Let's try some of them together. Repeat after me. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. See you later. I don't know. I think so. It's okay. These are short, simple phrases, but they help you sound natural, and they help your brain move away from translating because you'll start using them automatically. Let me give you a small task. Today, try to use at least 3 simple English phrases when you speak, think, or even text someone. The more you use them, the easier they become. Now, here's something else I want to talk about. Some learners say, "Sarah, I want to think in English, but I don't have anyone to practice with." And I understand that. But here's the good news. You don't always need a partner to practice thinking in English. You can practice with yourself, anytime, anywhere. For example, you can describe what you see around you. You can talk about what you're doing. You can ask yourself questions and answer them. You can make up simple conversations in your head. Let's try a little imaginary conversation together. I'll say something, and you imagine your answer. In simple English. Hi. How are you? Now, you answer. Ud, where are you going? Answer. Well, have a nice day. And you answer. Very good. This kind of simple practice helps you think quickly in English. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just practice. You feel calm. Whatever it is, try to say it in English now. Even just in your mind, you could say, I feel good, or I feel happy. This is your brain practicing English thinking, right now. Now. I want you to think about tomorrow. What will you do in the morning? And every time you do this, you make your brain stronger. Now. Let's talk about listening practice. Listening is a very important part of thinking in English. When you listen to English often, your brain gets used to the sound, the rhythm, and the structure of the language. So, I want you to listen to simple English every day. It could be a short story, a simple podcast, or even this video. And when you listen, don't try to translate, just relax, listen, and try to understand the meaning. If you don't understand everything, that's okay. The goal is to let your brain get used to English sounds. Let's try a little listening practice now. I'll say a short story in simple English. I want you to listen, and just try to picture it in your mind. Ready? Yesterday, I woke up early. I made a cup of tea. I sat by the window. It was a sunny day. I felt happy. I listened to some music, and I smiled. Now, I want you to imagine this in your mind. Good. You see, you don't need to understand every word. You just need to feel the meaning. This is how you help your brain connect directly to English. And when you do this often, your mind will stop trying to translate. Now, let's practice shadowing again. I'll say a sentence, and you repeat after me. I enjoy learning English. I listen to English every day. I practice speaking with myself. I'm learning step by step. Very good. Shadowing is such a powerful tool because it helps your brain work with English naturally. Now, let's do a little more real-life practice. Imagine, you are at a coffee shop. I'll guide you through a simple conversation. And you repeat after me. Hi, I'd like a coffee, please. Yes, a small one. Thank you. Have a nice day. Great job. Now, imagine you're at a shop. Repeat after me. Hi, how much is this? Okay, I'll take it. Thank you very much. Bye. These little conversations are very useful. They help you feel confident using English in real situations, and they help you stop thinking too much and start speaking naturally. Now, let's talk about confidence for a moment. Sometimes, the reason we translate in our head is because we are afraid of making mistakes. But confidence doesn't mean speaking perfectly. It means believing in yourself, even when you're learning. So, I want you to tell yourself this right now. Repeat after me. I can speak English. I'm learning every day. I don't need to be perfect. I'm proud of my progress. Very good. You are doing much better than you think, and every time you practice, you become stronger. Remember, confidence grows with action. The more you practice thinking in English, the more natural it will feel. And I'll be right here to help you along the way. Let's keep going. We have more practice to do together. Now, I want to remind you of something very important. Learning to think in English is a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. It's like planting a seed. You water it every day, you give it sunlight, and slowly, it grows. Your English thinking works the same way. Every time you practice, every time you try, you're helping that seed grow. So, don't worry if you still find yourself translating sometimes. That's normal. The key is to notice it, and gently bring your mind back to English. And the more you do this, the less you'll translate. Let's try a simple exercise together. I'll say a short phrase in English, and I want you to think of the picture in your mind, without translating. Walking in the park. Picture it. Drinking a cup of coffee. Picture it. Sitting with a friend. Picture it. Good, you see. This is how you help your brain create direct connections with English. Now, let's move on to something fun. Let's practice a short story together. I'll tell you the story slowly, and I want you to repeat each sentence after me. Ready? Today is Saturday. I wake up at 7. I make a cup of tea. I sit on the balcony. I watch the birds. I feel relaxed. I read a book. I listen to music. I have a good morning. Well done. This simple story uses easy words, but it helps you practice thinking in English about real-life situations. Now, I want you to make your own story. Think about your morning or your evening and say a few sentences in English. It can be something like, I wake up. I make breakfast. I go to work. Keep it simple and speak slowly. Even 2 or 3 sentences is a great start. You can pause now if you want and try saying your story. All right, welcome back. I hope you tried your story, and I'm sure you did great. Now, let's practice some more useful daily phrases together. Repeat after me. I'm going to work. I'm coming home. I'm cooking dinner. I'm watching TV. I'm talking with my friend. These phrases are common in daily life, and using them often will help you think in English faster. Let's practice a little imaginary conversation again. I'll say a line, and you say a simple answer after me. Hi, what's your name? Now, you answer. Where are you from? Your answer. What do you do? And your answer. Very good. Now, listen to this short example of a friendly chat. Hi, how are you? I'm good, thanks. How are you? I'm great. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. These simple conversations happen every day, and they are a great way to practice thinking in English. Now, here's a challenge for you. Today, try to speak at least 3 simple sentences in English to yourself about your day. For example, I'm making tea. I'm going to the shop. I'm going to bed. Just simple, natural sentences. When you make this a habit, your brain will start to think in English without translation. Now, let's talk about positive thinking for a moment. Sometimes, learners feel frustrated. They think, I'm not good enough, or, I'll never stop translating. But that's not true. You are learning, you are practicing, and you are improving. So, I want you to say these sentences with me. Repeat after me. I can think in English. I am improving every day. I don't have to be perfect. I believe in myself. You're doing a wonderful job, and I'm really proud of you. Now, let's finish this part with a little shadowing practice. I'll say a sentence, and you repeat it after me. I'm practicing English every day. I'm getting better at speaking. I'm thinking in English more and more. I'm feeling more confident. That's fantastic. Every time you practice with me, you're taking another step forward, and remember, I'll be right here whenever you want to practice again. We still have a little more to go, so let's keep practicing together. Now, as we come to the final part of our practice today, I want to remind you of something very important. You are not alone in this journey. Every English learner, at some point, has struggled with translating in their head. It's a common part of learning, and it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. The fact that you're here with me, practicing, shows that you're serious about improving, and that's something to be proud of. Let's take a moment together. Take a deep breath, and just say this to yourself. I'm learning. I'm proving. I'm doing my best. Now, let's do a final round of practice before we wrap up. We'll go over some simple daily thoughts and sentences. You just repeat after me and speak them slowly and clearly. Ready? I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making breakfast. I'm getting ready for work. I'm walking to the bus stop. I'm talking with my friend. I'm drinking some water. I'm reading a message. I'm going to bed. Great. These are simple actions, but by saying them in English, you're training your brain to use English naturally. Now, let me ask you, how do you feel right now? Maybe you feel a bit tired. Maybe you feel motivated. Maybe, try to say it in English. For example, I will wake up. I will make coffee. I will go to work. Again, keep it simple and natural. When you do this every day, thinking in English becomes your habit. Now, let's talk about something that many learners forget. It's okay to enjoy the process. You don't have to be serious all the time. You can have fun while practicing English. You can watch English shows. You can listen to English songs. You can talk to yourself in a funny way. The more relaxed you are, the easier it is for your brain to switch to English. Let's practice a few fun sentences together. Repeat after me. I like learning English. English is fun. I enjoy speaking English. I feel good when I practice. Wonderful. Now, before we finish, I want to give you one last powerful tip. Be patient with yourself. Sometimes, you will feel that you're making progress, and other times, you may feel stuck. That's normal. Learning a language is like learning to play an instrument or learning to ride a bike. It takes practice, time, and patience, and every step you take, even the small ones, brings you closer to your goal. So, don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Keep going, and you'll be amazed at how much you can improve. Now, let's do a short shadowing exercise for confidence. I'll say a sentence, and you repeat it after me with confidence and a smile. I can do this. I am getting better. I am proud of myself. I will keep practicing. Excellent. I'm so happy you joined me for this lesson. You've done a wonderful job, and I hope you feel more confident about thinking in English. I know it's not always easy, but with practice, you can do it. And remember, it's okay to start small. Even 5 minutes a day makes a big difference. The most important thing is, you keep going. So, thank you for spending your time with me today. If you enjoyed this video, and if it helped you even a little, I would love it if you could give it a like. And if you want to keep learning with me, you can subscribe to this channel. I'll be right here whenever you want to practice more. Take care, keep practicing, and I'll see you next time.